Namaste everyone, and welcome to the live of Bharat Bhagya Vidhata, where we will be explaining the super socialist package announced by our finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman ji for going to face, or it is assumed to be face for the next 3 months. We have already started with the 23-day or 21-day period of the क्या बोलते हैं जनता कर्फ्यू extension by going into a super curfew kind of thing. Lockdown, 21 days of lockdown is happening in our country, but then because of these 21 days and all the work and economy which will be stopped in this 21 days, the finance ministry sensed that not just these 21 days, but a lot of period after the 21 days is going to be the after. First is we are a country of 130 crore people now, 1.3 billion, and a lot of people still live in villages. So the whole paradigm of when we count India as a country is not just limited to the urban population but also the poor population. It is to be understood that the urban problems are associated with the urban lifestyle, and the rural problems are associated with the rural lifestyle, as well as the whole mechanism of how people in rural areas, that location being urban and poor, sorry, urban and rural, so it's rich and poor and urban and rural, and comprehensive sense where I consider poor also being not very near to all the resources which a poor person in certain area might enjoy. I mean, there is a distinction between a poor person in remote area, and there is a distinction between a poor person in urban areas where he has more access to the schemes, he has more access to different criterions, um, you know of so we are making a distinction between four categories here: urban rich and poor, and rural rich and poor, so to say. So this package is for the urban poor, the rural poor, as well as the rural lower middle class. It's not for the rural rich, like the landholders and sahukars, so to say, but it's definitely for the rural poor. The first category is poor as such, the ones who cannot afford even food grains or food for that matter, because there are a lot of people, crores of people in this country who have their wages per day on a per day basis. So all the grocery, all the subsistence of their home comes from the daily wages. And if these daily wages are being stopped, then it will be very difficult for these people to survive uh, in the next 21 days and the afterburns of the economy, as I'm saying. Don't just take a look at the 21 the 21 days, but also see this end, or maybe till September also. I think Diwali will be a period where we will start recovering from the whole problem, hopefully. Yes, so starting with the food security. Food security is very important. We don't want to people dying from corona. We also don't want people to be dying from food starvation, diseases which result from malnutrition and stunning, which has started in this period. Uh, Hi Ashutosh, is the stream lagging a lot? I don't have any kind of input from you people. Uh, Let me ask some people: is streaming lagging a lot? Guys who think the streaming is lagging a lot, please comment yes or no. We'll kind of change the internet settings if possible for us. Um, so yes, the first, I will continue with my explanation. The first major change brought by this economic package is the changes in the National Food Security Act. According to National Food Security Act, a person is eligible to get 5 kgs of grains at a very cheap rate. I mean, cheaper than what we get at the grocery stores. If you have given or gone to some grocery stores, then I'm sure that you know the rates of the grains and the coarse grains and pulses. Uh, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Yes. I'll continue with. I think I'll continue with this whole thing again. So yes, this National Food Security Act cap has been increased from 5 kg grains to 7 kg grains per person, and additionally, PM uh, Garib's Kalyan Yojana has been introduced, where additional 5 kgs of grains will be given with 1 kg of pulses, and wheat, rice, either or option given to the beneficiary. See, people cook in the terms of grains. If you eat chapatis, then it's more. But overall, I think this 12 kg package for per month for every member in the family, every eligible member in the family. So if there are say 7 people in the home, 7 into 12 is the calculation we are doing here for the next 3 years in 3 months in a very cheap price. It's like 2 rupees per kg, 3 rupees per kg, 4 rupees per kg, not more than that. But the center is going to bear the brunt of additional 40,000 crore rupees here, which is a lot. 40,000 crore is a lot of money. It's some of the states have that much budget in India, some union territories. Next, we will go to the PM Kisan Samman Nidhi. PM Kisan Samman Nidhi gives you 2,000 rupees, not you and me. It gives the farmers 2,000 rupees per 4 months, which is 6,000 rupees in a entire year. So the things which uh, the economic package does is it is giving the 2,000 rupees installment, which starts from the financial year, the so-called financial year of April, starting from April 2020, in the first week itself. Hota kya tha? In the previous years or in the previous age, इस 4 महीने में कभी भी आ जाता था, will come to you in the first week of April itself. So you have the purchasing power. Then we will go to again Garib Kalyan Yojana. A 1,000 rupees ex gratia has been announced by the government for the people who are Divyang, for widows, and this is not a small population. Widows and disabled people form almost 7 crore to 8 crore people. Population we are talking about 5% population of a country is a lot. Next, we are going to talk about mm, the wage increase in Manrega. Okay, I will give you a revision of what we have discussed because a lot of people have joined right now. Uh, who are the beneficiaries? The beneficiaries are the poorest of the poor, coming from urban and rural areas, and even the middle class in the rural areas and the lower middle class in the urban areas also going to benefit from the scheme. So the National Food Security Act was for everyone who almost has in our country who are eligible for this ration scheme, because again minor forest produce is something which they are subsisting on, but when there is no buyer for minor forest produce in the market, what are they going to sell? What is going to be their income for the next 3 months? And because when the economic cycle starts, they are not going to be the first one to get benefited from the whole thing. From it starts from the high up and then comes down to the bottom. So it's almost 6 months from now on where they will have to uh, need something to eat, need something money in their hands. Um, So that is the whole Ration and National Food Security Act. The second is PM Kisan Samman Nidhi. They have just modified the timeline of when the farmers are going to. They have just preponed and mandated the pay in the first week of April. Persons with disabilities and widows who for 3 months is a very low amount. It's one time uh, payment only. It can be in two installments or one installments. However, here comes a very important change is Manrega. Manrega wages have been hiked by 20 rupees. Now, an average Manrega worker gets 181 rupees per day for all the work he does. It has been increased to 202 rupees. However, let me tell you, not all these states have the same proviso with respect to the rate scheme of the Manrega. Some states have higher Manrega wages. So 20 rupees increase in their whole wage is going to be a lot of benefit because you see 100 days of guaranteed work in Manrega. It's not ki 100 days ka cap, but 100 days of guaranteed work. So in after these 21 days, he used to get almost, let's say, 18,000 rupees for the 100 days. He will be getting almost 20,000 rupees for the 100 days. If he works for the year long, he will get some 30,000 rupees per year, which is very less, which is still less. But again, this is not a permanent employment scheme. There are other employments. This is for Manrega is for people who are seasonal workers who work for some agricultural specific season, and then when they don't have work and they need money, they come to Manrega. Manrega is not a permanent employment scheme. It's for people who don't have employment for a certain period of time of year or in the year. All this information packaged in this today's economic conference, two things which finance minister clearly missed in her speech and her economic package. The first is poorest of the poor and helping the poorest of the poor is all right. But what about their employers, which is the MSME sector? MSME sector is the most severely hit sector at any times of calamity. At any times of calamity. The people who have studied commerce here, उनको पता है कि inventory management क्या होता है. इन्वेंट्री मैनेजमेंट में आपके पास एक स्टॉक होता है, आपके पास एक एक काइंड ऑफ बफर होता है कि अच्छा चलो ये इतना स्टॉक प्रोड्यूस कर लिया है हमने, and it will be if even if manufacturing stock, the inventory stock matlab the manufacturer stocks which is yet to be sold or yet to be contracted to be sold. Contracted matlab if I am a hand gloves producer MSME sector mein, and I have 200 pairs of hand gloves ready in my godown, but who have which have been contracted by other manufacturers. कि ये 200 pairs of hand gloves are definitely going to be sold to some manufacturers as a contract. However, after those 200 pairs, if the manufacturing has to be stopped for the next 21 days, I have nothing to sell once my manufacturing starts again. So if it takes some 5 days to produce 50 pairs of hand gloves again, then it is going to be very difficult for me to survive for the next 20-30 days because I cannot make any profit. If I cannot make any profit, I do not have that much capital so that I can pay for my minimum pay to my workers. So there is a very restricted access to capital as well as inventory when I am a MSME sector. So there is absolutely no convenient way out for MSME sectors yet because day by day, hour by hour, the MSME sector is going to be crunched in a terrible manner as we go ahead. To not answer the questions about where are you going to bring this money from, and this is a very important question. I'll give you some figures of the budget to 2020. The figures of this budget are that we have an receipt or income of the government is almost 22,000 22 lakh 46,000 lakh crores. 22 lakh 46,000 lakh crore is the income of the government for estimated for the year 2020 2021. The expenditure of the government is 30 lakh 42,000 lakh crore. So there's a deficit of 7 to 8 lakh crore already already in the budget, already estimated and provised for the with the budget and all the borrowings. The additional 1,70,000 crores from 1,70,000 crores is a lot of amount. So the fiscal deficit of the financial year 2020 deficit which is going to be increased, and this margin is not going to meet in the next fiscal years, is going to almost touch 4.2 to 4.5% of the whole GDP. Our GDP is more than 100 lakh crores. Uh, but then this is a terrible news. Where are you going to make provisos for that? Because there are two kinds of income. One is a taxable income, one is non-tax income, non-tax receipt, as we say. Non-tax receipt means there's borrowing, there's domestic borrowing, there's international borrowing, a lot of things to do. So what does this economic package provide? This economic package basically provides two things. One is a very temporary sustenance for the poorest of the poor in this country. The second thing is strain the government, and third is a incomplete disconnected package only provided to a marginalized sector, the middle class, which is also equally vulnerable, which is also equally human to all your policies. With this, we end today's live, which is analyzing the whole economic package of today's India's most vulnerable and the poor of the poor. This package is, I would say, um, up to the mark, not really up to the mark in two terms. One is it is very temporary. It is not sustainable. It is very temporary. The nature of the situation demands for a very temporary package. However, this package is kind of a very haphazard activity for me from the government. Uh, they might have thought of for after burns of this whole package, but for me, I don't think so. From the whole magnitude of the package, I don't think so. The government has thought this through for after what happens when we all started going out and the economy comes back to um, a lot of money is being pumped into the resources into the market already by the government. For this, the government will disinvest, the government will borrow. Uh, the government also might print notes. It's not allowed by law to print notes now, but it can make amendments, it can make ordinances and print notes also. If it print notes, hyperinflation is going to take place, and that is going to decrease the demand. Decreasing demand is going to decrease the employment also. The employment again, unemployment will decrease the demand, and thus we will go into some kind of recession. If the government over borrows from the market, um, the private players will be pushed out of the market because the government has the first priority in the credit market when it is given by PSBs, the public sector banks. So when the private sector is bringed out of the market, again their supply will decrease. Supply will decrease because employment will decrease because the government, the private sectors doesn't have enough credit. Because of the lack of credit, employment कम होगा, employment कम होगा, demand भी कम होगी, ये cycle वापस चालू हो जाएगा. So this is very simplified. I'm saying I'm not using all the economic numbers, but everything remaining the same and not going worse. This is the worst which can happen. इससे भी नीचे चीजें जा सकती है. We'll stop here in this live for economic inflation. Do share this live because this is a very loaded live with information, loaded in the sense that it's a lot of information crunched in a very short period of time. It's just 24 minutes as we complete the live. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and share the videos of Bharat Bhagya Vidhata. Until next time, Jai Hind.